The Carolina Panthers. Man, I cannot believe we're at this point. I mean, it's nothing. When you look at the record, though, of course, if the Buccaneers were playing what people were expecting them to play like, I wouldn't be here right now. Because during week 1, I was done with this team. When they settled for that field goal against Cleveland to go up 24 to 23, I knew they was about to take an L. And Cleveland drove right down the field, kicked a game-winning field goal to win 26 to 24, and the Panthers season was done. But it didn't end there. They played the Giants, the New York Football Giants, and suffered another L that should have been a W. Took another L. Beat the Saints, then they lost to the Cardinals, another loss that should have been a W. 49ers just flat out beat them because the 49ers are, clearly a much better team than the Carolina Panthers. Then they lost to the Rams in a game. They led 10-3 at halftime. Probably should have won, but they lost that one 24-10. But anyway, they probably should have won that one. And then in Steve Wilkes' second game, Matt Rule was gone after the 49ers game. The Rams game was Steve Wilkes' second game. And McCaffrey was out of there as well, traded to the 49ers. And surprise, surprise, they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 21-3. PJ Walker threw 2 touchdowns. Chuba Hubbard ran for another one, also 63 yards, and Dante Foreman ran for 118 yards. Panthers ran for 173 as a team in defeating the Buccaneers at home in Carolina. Because at this point, they didn't even have a road win. Beat the Bucs 21-3. And then they followed that up by losing to the Atlanta Falcons in a game they should have won. That's another game they should have won. And then the Bengals blew them out. We remember Mixon scored like 30,000 touchdowns on them. And then they played Thursday, beat the Falcons, lost to the Ravens, a game they should have won. Had PJ Walker been in instead of Baker, the Panthers, no doubt in my mind, probably, I said probably, I already doubted myself. Panthers would have won that game. Then they beat the Broncos. And meanwhile, Tampa is just leaving the door open. I'm ready to completely slam the door because I'm fed up with this team. But they're winning games in little spurts. But Tampa Bay is not the Buccaneers that we all thought they would be. If the Panthers were 6-9 and the Bucs were the Vikings, the Cowboys who were 12-4, Vikings who were 12-3 at the Philly 13-2. And Niners 11-4, and if the Bucs were there, which is what a lot of people expected, then we wouldn't even be doing this video right now. We wouldn't even be here. 6-9 would mean absolutely nothing. It would mean nothing. So they follow that Bronco W up by beating the Seahawks for their first and so far only road win of the season. It was their best win of the season, their best looking win. And then they let me down by losing to the Steelers at home when the goal was to protect the bank. They lost at Bank America Stadium to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which was Heinz Field South, because the Steeler fans were they flooded that stadium. It was nothing but yellow in those seats of blue. So they lost that game. They could not get anything going on offense. Were their yards, 209 total yards of offense. Had 188 on the air, but the most disappointing stat was on the ground, in which they had just 21 yards of offense. And then they followed that up with a huge bounce back. Don't worry, I'm getting there. Lost to the psych. Beat the Detroit Lions in their best win of the season at the bank, their final game at home, so you know what that means with 2 more games remaining. Lost to Detroit, I said it again, beat Detroit 37-23 had set a franchise record for rushing yards in the first half. They set a franchise record with 320 rushing yards. And how many did they have in the first half? They had like 200 some in the first half. 7 runs of 20 yards or more. Chubbard and Foreman just went off. Foreman had 165. Hubbard had 125. Sam Darnold even had 19 yards. And Sam Darnold was, very careful with the football, 250 yards. Also had a nice touchdown to DJ Moore, a guy that he needs to get involved down the stretch of the final 2 games of this season if they want to have a chance and when teams start game planning for the run. But now we're here. They're 6-9. The Bucs are 7-8. Panthers control their own destiny. All they have to do is win their final 2 games. They don't have to hope this team lose or that team ties or anything like that. They just have to win. And that starts this Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay, where the Bucs this season are, what's the Bucs home record this season? They're just 4-4 at home, Tampa Bay. 4-4. Tom Brady has not played like the Tom Brady of let's just go back to last year. He's not played like that. This team has been struggling. I think they're not a bad run defense team. I don't think, they're not as bad as Detroit as I knew the Lions would be. But I don't think they're as good as what the Steelers were against the Panthers a couple weeks ago. Tampa 3.5-point favorites to win this game at home. A lot of people don't see how the Bucs are even favored to win this game, but of course they have Tom Brady. This is a championship game, essentially. This is basically a championship game. If the Buccaneers can win this game, then they would clinch the South, and they don't have to worry about anything in Week 18. So the Panthers have to win this game. So both teams control their own destiny. The Panthers have to win this game to stay alive, to go into Week 18 against the Saints and beat the Saints. And they don't even have to hope that the Bucs lose to the Falcons. The Falcons team who are eliminated, by the way. A division that's this just highlights how bad the Falcons are. This division is going to possibly have a team come out of it with a losing record. And the Falcons are already eliminated. But like I said, I was done with Carolina, but the only reason I'm back is because Tampa refused to shut the door, on this division, and this has turned into the worst division in football. Well, you also got the AFC South, who, we got the Jags 7-8, and the Titans 7-9. Titans played on Thursday night, and they're going to be playing for their division in Week 18. But this division, the Tampa Bay, everyone, like I said, surprised on how bad the Bucs have been this season. As far as my prediction, I can't pick against the Panthers. They're in this position to make the playoffs. I reeled off a lot of games that they lost in which they probably should have won. And if we look at that, we can, at 6 wins, should have beaten the Browns, 7 wins, Giants, 8 wins, Cardinals, 9 wins. Who else they got? The Falcons, 10 wins. Ravens, 11 wins. So this should be 11 or 12 win team. This division should be wrapped up in Panthers' favor if the Bucs are playing like they've been playing and the Panthers win those games that they should have won. But I'm going to take the Panthers to win this game. I did pick the Panthers to win this division in the beginning. I thought Baker Mayfield would be that guy, but he wasn't even close to that guy. He's in LA now, and he's playing much better because, Sean McVay is a good coach. He is a really good coach. Coaching matters. Coaching definitely matters. Look at the job Steve Wilkes has done in Carolina, opposed to Matt Rule. Look what Steve Wilkes has done. And sure, they're only in, like I said, keep saying it, only in playoff position is because Tampa Bay did not live up to what most of us thought they would be. I don't think many people thought legitimately that they would be 7-8 at this point of the season. But look at the job Steve Wilks has done. Now in position to win the South, to make it to the playoffs. Most likely play the Dallas Cowboys in the at home, which would be a Cowboy road home game. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Panthers to win this game. And my final score will be Carolina. This won't be a high-scoring game. If the Panthers win this game, it will not be a blowout. I would be very shocked if this is like, what they did, I think, back in October. So I'm going to take the Panthers to win this game 20-13. Give me Carolina 20-13 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Panthers go on next week, beat the Saints to clinch the South. Won't matter what Tampa does against Atlanta. They're in this position now, so I can't back up off of them. So yeah, that's my pick. That's my prediction. Thank you guys for taking the time to hear me out. Be sure to leave a comment on who you think will win this game, who you think will ultimately win this division. Also, like and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate you guys. I will talk to you all soon. I'm out.